It says we're live. It says we're doing it. I should have scratched my nose before we went live, but that's what happened. Hi. All right, how's my lighting? What do I even look like? I don't know. Hi. Hey, if you're watching this on the playback, this was a live stream and you missed the live chat, but you can still like watch our discussion and you can watch the little chat unfold and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you'll stay for the playback. Otherwise, it's like just about 4 o'clock. I'm kind of waiting until I'm looking at the clock here and wait until it turns 4. Becca's here. Oh, we've got 2 mods in the chat today. Scott's here too. And we're going to watch for weirdos. Hey, Liam needs to not be. Can you go make Liam stop making noise and being online? Maybe that's what I need to happen. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. Hey. Oh, somebody's here. Hi. Hi, question mark. Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome to Unicorn and Centaur and welcome to the monthly live stream. It is the last Sunday of the month. So I am live here in my studio with all of you and we chat about a topic. Usually it's an equestrian topic, but today it's kind of like more broad. And sometimes I'm cleaning my boots. But today, oh my God, nothing. Hang on. Today I brought my bridles home from the barn. Actually, what is going on? Oh my God. Hang on. My fan got tangled in my reins. Oh my God. I usually try to have some downtime before the live stream so I can be like really calm and have a nice calm energy for the live stream. But I've kind of been going all day long. And so I'm still in my going energy. So we may be all over the place today. Oh, also I'm doing a giveaway. See? Okay. Also I'm doing a giveaway. I've got a Unicorn and Centaur mug. Since we're talking about self-care, I have some hot tea here. And at the end, anybody who wants to throw their name in the hat or the unicorn hat for to win a mug, I'll send you a mug. That's my deal. Oh, let me get on the chat myself. Oh, no, wait. Let me show you my bridle. See, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, I didn't make notes for today either, so I don't have like an outline if I want to say. Stop yelling. I'm yelling at me. I can't even talk. Scott, don't look at me.
I'm having my own problems. I can't even get on the chat part. I don't even know where it is. So,
but show. Okay. Oh, it's Autism Centaur. That's the question mark. Yeah, I don't see it as your channel. I don't know if you're like on a different device or something. I'm not in the chat yet, but hang on a sec. So I've got my amazing and beautiful La Rosa bitless bridle that I'm going to be taking apart and cleaning. And then my gorgeous little noseband bridle. And is it under something else? God dang it. See, this is what I think this is like what's the lighting? What are we doing? I think this is the first live stream in forever that I don't have glitter on my face. Like I'm wearing like my mascara and I'm not sparkly today. I love you guys. Thanks for showing up to the live stream. The topic today is self-care because look, like every single equestrian I know ignores their own needs at the expense of for like everything else in their lives because that's how it works with horses is they come first. So you're used to going hours without sleeping or eating or drinking anything or nourishing yourself if something's wrong with any of your horses. And if you have a farm with like a lot of animals, like good luck ever having any sort of nourishing self-care routine. But we do that, carry that over into all of our relationships and all of our life. And so I think for equestrians, the concept of self-care is strange, like, because we take care of ourselves last. So like, I have other things to think about today. I can't do self-care today. I have other stuff to think about. That's why I wanted to talk about it and bringing it up because I've been doing a lot of it lately and it's been helping me. Let me actually get into the chat on my phone so I don't have to keep getting up here like with my shiny face from today at the bar and like reading up here.
Found it.
Did you find it? Are you finally on here? Thank goodness Becca's here and I have a real mod. Jeez. Oh, I haven't named my channel yet. Oh, is this your new channel? Okay. Can you ask your husband to check out my channel? I can explain it, but I did a remake of my channel and I don't know what to name it yet. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do that in a little bit. We'll talk about, I'll go check out your channel after the live stream and Yeah, we'll talk about it. Trish is here and Madeline Kate. We love chaotic live streams. I know usually it's me like with some sort of DIY thing or craft thing that's going incredibly wrong. But today it's just my brain that is just kind of all over the place. So yeah, self-care. Oh, in addition to my tea, while I'm waiting for my tea to steep. Please, nobody judge me. Non-judgment is self-care. This also applies to having toddlers. Yeah. Horses and toddlers have lots of similarities. Yes. If toddlers, imagine if toddlers weighed 1,200 pounds and had like cudgels on the end of their hands and feet.
Ooh.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
Just a 1,200-pound toddler is frightening.
You're in Twilight Zone.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, I have been binge watching 80s episodes of The Twilight Zone. Not the original, was it 1950s or 60s? I think it was 60s. The original Twilight Zone. But the one when they first rebooted it in the 80s, there's like, I found like a 10-hour Twilight Zone marathon. And when I'm like just doing stuff around my room, I've just got that on. And some of these episodes I've seen, like I saw them when I was a teenager. And they hit different watching them at 16 and watching them at 48. Some of them I'm like, whoa. Or like, I don't remember it. I didn't remember it being this way. Anyway. So let me start by taking apart my bridles. So self-care. Now look, if you're a person watching this and you've got your life, my braided reins that I made, my clip reins. If you are a person who has your life 100% together, good for you. Nice work. Then for you, self-care is probably something simple like treating yourself to something or making sure that you keep up with your healthy routines, things like that. But for some people, self-care, like there are people who do not get enough sleep, and that seriously affects your entire life. There are people who are not able to nourish themselves properly with the food that they eat. Like I've had times as an equestrian where I worked all day at the barn, and then if I went to go take a break and go have lunch, I wouldn't have time to ride. So you go ride. So you end up going like 8 hours in the blazing sun with nothing to drink and nothing to eat. So then you go home and you eat 4,000 calories because that's what your body demands after something like that. But that's not sustainable. It wasn't for me anyway. You might be able, I'm having trouble getting this off. Okay. Y'all, what if I can't remember how this whole thing goes together? Oh, wait, let me memorize. I need to take a picture. Wait. Which one did this come off? Oh, crap.
Better not be asking me.
I know. I meant to take a picture. Oh, I have pictures of it. I have pictures of how it goes together. Nobody panic. Hey, did your heart rate go up? Mine just did. I thought I was in trouble. I have pictures I can reference. This is the bottom of the noseband. Y'all. So, tip for taking apart and cleaning bridles. This is the first time I've done these buckles, by the way. This is a new bridle. I did, if you look back to January, I think, in my videos, I did the unboxing of this and talk about it. I love this bridle so much. And Artek seems to really like the lack of bit. Like he fussed a lot more with the bit in his mouth. And I thought him not having something to chew on and play with would upset him. But no, he likes having his little face free. He didn't mind having his nose pulled on. Oh my God, I'm dying right now. Thank you. These are so pretty. I am dying. I need the stirrup irons that go with this. I want the rainbow stirrup irons next. That is on my list. So I've used this bridle enough times now that it needs to be cleaned, obviously. So yeah, back to the subject, depending on your life, self-care is going to mean different things for different people. I started a serious No, wait, okay. Before I go any further, let's just differentiate between self-care and self-indulgence. For a long time in my life, I would do these mental gymnastics where I would tell myself that like eating donuts and junk food and having treats and things like that were self-care because they made my inner child feel good and they made me feel good for a minute and I deserved it and I've been a good girl or whatever I would tell myself that I could have these things. So, and I told myself that that was self-care, but finally, the truth I had to admit to myself with it was that these things were not nourishing. That was not what nourished me. That saying no to that was more nourishing to my body than indulging in it. And that sucked to realize for me. So I had to sort of change my mindset about things like that and take treats and junk food off self-care. Now there are people, that's for me. There are people who can have who have different kind of metabolisms and don't have problems with their weight, who with weight gain, who can just eat donuts and give themselves that as a treat. And for them that might be self-care, but for me it was not. It was detrimental to my health. It was not what I was trying to do with self-care. How did that one come apart so easily? And the other one was like grief. Look at this noseband. I lunge Artax with the little middle ring. We lunge the baby. And he goes this little thing. He's so cute in it. Oh my God. I need more pictures of it. Does this come off? No. I just do that. But this comes off. It's going to take me the entire hour to dismantle this bridle. So I just wanted to make that distinction that when we talk about self-care, we talk about things. It's not a list of things that's right for all human beings. It is what is personally good for you and what will nourish you in your life. What do you need? So in 2020, when the pandemonium was starting and going in full swing, we stayed pretty locked down here in my little family, pretty tightly. Oh my God. We're going to look at it again just because it's so pretty. We're going to look at it again. I love you. All right. Let's take the other one off. I love pretty shiny rainbow pinks. Okay. Gosh, when did I really start to get serious? It was last summer. And I had been working on my mental and physical health since 2019. Those of you who have been with me a while, who've been with me since the Texas debacle, know that that nearly ruined me forever. Like I spent all of 2019 just trying to get it together, man. And so after that terrible 2019 and 2020, I'm like, well, we're stuck in the house anyway. So why don't I start taking care of myself? So the first thing I did was sleep. I put myself on a sleep schedule, and that may sound ridiculous, but I was consuming mass amounts of caffeine until 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I was going to bed and getting, 3-4 hours of sleep and then getting up and doing the whole thing again. And I'd have to crash and nap in the afternoon, every afternoon, of course. Some days I wouldn't have time to have a nap, and I'm like, oh, my nap. But it was a terrible sleep schedule. And I realized I needed sleep. And so I decided I wanted to get up at 6 a.m. every morning. That was my wake up time. And then have a bedtime and be in bed before 11. Y'all, I get to bed at 10 o'clock like an old person every night now. I'm usually in bed by 10 or 10:30. And I started doing that. And oh my God, the effect on my anxiety immediately was incredible. I was like, what? It was amazing. I just started getting some sleep. I had to reduce my caffeine drastically. Hang on while I take a sip of Diet Dr. Pepper. I had to drastically reduce I would drink an entire 12 pack of this in a day. I'd go through them. Let me check in with the chat. Hang on. All right. Okay, move in. What happened with Grandiose? What message did you delete?
Oh, it said Lucifer is the King of Kings, and I thought it was a...
Oh, you thought he was a troll?
Yeah.
No, he's a regular.
What's the... Oh.
I don't know. That's okay.
Fence,
Grandiose, sorry. Scott thought you were a rando.
Not that I was totally disagreeing with
Oh, wait, no. Oh, General Kratos. No, I thought that was Grindeios. Never mind. No, I don't know General Kratos then.
I thought the name sounded familiar.
Okay. No, I thought it was one of the regulars. No, it's not. So it's not. I thought that was Grindeios because he's always in the chat.
I don't think so.
Message deleted. Okay, then never mind. Maybe you are a troll. If you are, hi. We're talking about self-care. Yeah. Right. Well, if he doesn't like sitting in the corner for a minute, then I don't know. We'll figure it out.
If another one comes, he's
bless his heart. Lucifer. I was like, does he like that show?
First, I was thinking it was a horse on a racetrack. Like they were talking. Maybe I missed a beat about horses. So I'm like looking back, thinking, did I miss something? Are we talking about a horse named Lucifer?
How do I get y'all? How do I get
reasonable?
How do we get weirdos in the chat when? I mean, it happens every week, but I only have like 12 people watching at any given time. So like, how do the randos find us? Okay, last bridle I took apart and cleaned, I put together wrong. We were alone in the ring, and so I popped off the bridle. The horse is usually easy to catch it. Yes, I can't imagine. Like even Sonny would probably not let me catch him, and he's a good boy. Oh, Becca said she didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, I was on the fence.
Yeah, we're all. Yeah, General Kratos, hey, if you're there and you're being cool, then we're sorry. Hi. We have misunderstandings all the time because you can see me and I can't see you, and you can't get intent through context. Through text? I can't even talk right now. Learning how to go to bed was difficult for me too. Yeah. I got on a schedule though, and that helped a lot. And I think last summer is where, let me get my saddle sip out. First, you know what? Will you go get me a small container of water, like a little Tupperware container, please?
All right, take over, Becca.
I was looking I ran out of my mink oil that I had that I would condition my leather things with. And I ran out of that. And on my really nice La Rosa bridle, I didn't want to use like the coconut oil or olive oil I've been putting on my boots. Don't make fun of me, please. So I went to Target today, and this was all they had, this Kiwi leather lotion. They didn't have any like leather oils or anything like that. Cleans and preserves all shoe types. I don't even know if I want to put it on there. Look, okay. I think I'm just going to clean the La Rosa one, and I'll save oiling it for after I can find a decent oil. Like maybe tomorrow. Yes. Okay. Because I need it to wet my rag to clean the dirt off my bridle. So here we go. We have a bowl of water. I hate how the light changes when there's like more of something in front of it. This is me just having like two sources of light here. Sorry. This is a low budget YouTube channel, if you have not figured that out already. Sitting here shooting things, going live on my laptop, shooting videos on my iPhone, like I have an iPhone. On my Android. Okay. I have a wet rag. It's time to wet all of the pieces. But again, not everyone may have problems with this. Some people may be getting plenty of sleep already, or this is just not a problem for them. But for me, that was kind of the foundation, and that was where it started. And then I added some stuff. Other things I added to my self-care ritual. These are things like I made sure I did every single day, sort of starting last summer. And one of them was a 30-minute walk every day. Like I got up and I went outside and I walked for 30 minutes, and I told myself it doesn't have to be aerobic. I don't have to be getting a workout. And as a matter of fact, when I first started doing it, I would go out in my pajamas and my sweats that I wore to bed that night, no bra, little hoodie on, and my shoes, just shuffling down the street for 15 minutes, turn around and shuffle right back to my house. I did it. Boom. I get a gold star for the day. Bam. That's how it started. And I mean, now I'm like, I do workouts in the morning and actually work out. But at first it was just exercise. That was just it. It was something I was not doing that I needed to do. So I got started like the easiest way I could. Another thing I did for self-care, at one of my doctor's appointments previously, they did like blood work and found that I was low in vitamin D. So again, this is a personal thing. So because I had been low in vitamin D, one of my personal self-care goals was to go outside for at least 20 minutes a day in the sunshine. And because of my mental health at the time, I was only getting out to the barn like once a week. And the rest of the time I was indoors. So I didn't realize, I think of myself as an outdoor person, but it wasn't happening that way at that time. Where am I putting my finished pieces down? Oh, this is kind of dirty. How did that get dirty? So yeah, that was one for me. I realized how much time I was spending indoors and it upset me. I was like, how can I be deficient in vitamin T? I'm very outdoorsy. But at the time I was really only getting outdoors once a week. Ugh. That kind of was a weird revelation too, that made me be kind of like, what am I doing with my life if I'm not getting outside more than once a week? But again, it's a pandemic year. It was a pandemic year, and we cannot judge ourselves for surviving in the pandemic year. Okay.
Zombie apocalypse rules.
Yeah. So yeah, sleeping, and then I added exercise and spending time outside. I also made it a goal to get out to the barn twice a week. Like I built up from once a week to twice a week, being able to go. And that was a mental health issue. It was my anxiety. There were days that I had anxiety too bad to drive. I have to drive to the barn. And if my anxiety is so bad that I can't safely drive, then I can't go to the barn and see my horses. So doing all this though, but I was able to do that at a point because I was getting more sleep and I was getting a little bit of exercise every day, and I was going outside and getting some sunshine for a little bit every single day. And I don't want to tell, now the thing with self-care is it takes a while. Things that are nourishing don't have strong effects like drugs and, alcohol and, crazy things that really affect your body in different ways, surgery, and nourishing things take a while to see the effects of, because they're simple. And so each thing I did gradually reduced anxiety symptoms enough so that I was able to go out to the barn more. And I've actually worked up to it now so that I'm going out to the barn 3 times a week now and riding my horses 3 times a week. But I couldn't do that when I wasn't taking care of myself. I had gotten burned out. And I know there's equestrians out there who you run yourself ragged, don't you? You are up before dawn feeding the animals and cleaning up after everything and fixing the stuff that is broken and going to injure something. And then you probably go to your real job and work all day and then come home and have to find time for everything else. So you don't take care of yourself. You don't stay on a schedule. You don't make it a priority because everything else needs to be fixed first. And I realize there's a level of privilege to self-care that I've been fortunate enough to be able to have a home where I am able to do my self-care routine, to live in my house and feed myself with nourishing food and go outside in have a backyard to go outside and spend time in. Like, I'm lucky. I have these advantages. I don't have to work 80 hours a week, at 2 different jobs and I really don't have time to self-regulate. So I don't want anybody who's out there, anybody who might happen to be watching, if you honestly can't work more care for yourself into your routine at this point, I am not bringing this down on you or judging you for doing your grind and getting done what you have to do in a day. But consider that there may come a point where your hand is forced, either by illness or injury, where you have to figure it out. And it'll suck. But you can do it. All right, now I need to soap. Where's my saddle soap? My little tack cleaning kit here. My weatherproofing stuff. But the self-care stuff takes months and months. Like, I think I started doing all this stuff, early summer last year. And it wasn't until the fall that I started feeling better enough to do more things. I added more self-care routine. Another big thing I did for self-care, again, this is not going to help everybody, but I started timing my meals because I would get so into a project or so into something out at the barn or so into whatever that I would forget to eat. And then I'd get really hungry and my blood sugar would crash. And then I would go eat 2,000 calories of something. And I'd do it again. I'd forget to eat until I binged however many. And I would that way I would end up eating a ton of food and my blood sugar was all over the place. So I set up a meal schedule where I would only eat at those specific times of the day. And that may be a little bit weird and not everybody can do that. But oh my God, it made such a weird difference. Like my blood I guess it was regulating my blood sugar. And I'm also on a hormone that I'm on progesterone, and that's a little bit of a sedative. So I take that at night. So like I've regulated all my stuff here. All my stuff. Hang on. But I had to build this self-care routine over, God, now it's almost a year. Almost a year. Oh my gosh. So if you're feeling like, hey, I need to take better care of myself and my life is going to improve, it's not going to improve in the first day or two or a week or, more. When you start practicing self-care, you have to just do it because you need it, not because it's going to give you a benefit. You do it because it's right. And eventually you'll be in your life, you'll be like, hey, I remember when this used to happen and I would have a breakdown. But now instead I'm able to handle it. That's crazy. Self-care, taking care of yourself leads to a healthier you. And again, people who don't have deal with chronic issues, mental or physical chronic issues, may not understand the value and importance of self-care. But again, as equestrians, we push ourselves so hard in every area of our lives. Where's my saddle soap? What do you do for self-care? Who has some self-care schedules, rituals, things that you do? Again, not necessarily an indulgence, but something that you make, like, do you make sure you take your multivitamin every day? Oh, that was another of my self-care. I added a multivitamin just to make sure I was getting all of my nutrients. So what do you do for self-care? Are your horses your self-care? Are they part of your self-care routine? And if, you know what, if you're having a hard time in your life, if you're like, hey, I make sure I get out of bed and walk around at least once a day, I'm going to sit here and applaud you because I know people who are there and I've actually been there. So your self-care is your self-care. It's yours. And you are where you are at whatever point in your life. So what do? Do you reduce your caffeine intake? Do you get on medication? Do you go to a therapist? Do you, what do you do to take care of yourself? Let me know in the chat. Because again, everybody is different. The things that are nourishing to me may be nourishing to others as well, but there also may be people like the meal timing. There are people with eating disorders who may become very triggered by timing of meals or doing anything that has to do with food intake. So that is not self-care for you. Self-care is not thinking about that kind of thing,
Susie B says, number one, sleep, go to bed on time, get up on time.
Yes. Now, for me, I make sure I get up at the same time every day, but my bedtime can vary. I'd use my fatigue as a guide, but I don't go to bed any later than like 11:30 is the absolute latest. But usually there have been times like, it's like 9 o'clock and I'm like, I'm a grown up. I can go to bed. And I've gone to bed at like 9 o'clock at night in the last couple months. But it's crazy that these are hours that I would be on the internet scrolling Facebook or drinking Diet Dr. Pepper until 2 o'clock in the morning, reading my friends' memes. And now I'm sleeping. Am I missing things? Wait, it's just Facebook. I'm not missing anything. Okay. Wait a minute. We got to put the clean pieces back there.
Grace always fills up a water bottle before she drives anywhere. Nice.
That was a self-care that I added was I got all of us water bottles, or you already had one. Yours was like a Christmas present from my sister, I think. You had a good one. But I made sure me and Liam each had our own like water bottles and water containers so that we weren't like if we go out somewhere that I'm not like, oh, I don't have a drink. I guess I need to get a soda or, whatever. Reduced that excuse to get sodas and also made sure I stayed hydrated. I kind of want one of those little water bottles that like have it like marked off during the day. This is how much water you should drink. I don't know. Maybe they're dumb. Who has one? Do you have one of those where it like times where you're supposed to drink the water? Maybe that would drive me crazy. Timing the meals doesn't drive me crazy. That's self-care for me, but I don't know. Maybe timing my water would not be self-care. I don't know. How about you? Hydration might be it. If hydration is an issue for you, then you got to figure out how to get hydration into your body. That is a thing. That's a good one. Stay hydrated. Get some exercise. Now, a lot of this is just like common sense. It sounds like, oh, get some sleep, take a vitamin, eat right, exercise. You're really bringing a lot to the table here, Michelle. Thanks. But again, it's individual. It's for you. And sometimes we get so crazy in our society that, yeah, you do forget to sleep. Yeah. There are people who work so hard, they forget to nourish themselves and eat properly. So it really isn't, as basic as it sounds. And some people need strategies for this. It's easy to say, get some sleep. But what do you do if you have insomnia? And what do you do if you have anxiety disorders that make it difficult for you to go to sleep? Or OCD disorders. I've known people who have had OCD disorders where they can't go to sleep until a specific ritual is performed. And if there's any interruption in these lengthy rituals, they can't go to sleep. They have to start over again. So things like that, like there are reasons that it's difficult for people. So I understand that when I say get some sleep, that it's easier for some than others. But if it's something that's within your grasp, definitely take care of that.
Here's a good one from Kirsten, just a part of it, but do something I enjoy every day, hobby, even for a short time.
Yes, that's a good one. Hang on. Some people wear their burnout as a badge. I used to be super guilty of that. I have done that at a certain point in time. I wanted everyone to know I was working 18-hour days. I wanted everyone to know that I never got a day off. I wanted to make sure everyone know that I got up before them and I'm going to bed after them and I'm working the whole time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, sleep, get outside every day, doing something. Kristen is here.
That messes with yourself. You're telling yourself you're exhausted unconsciously. When you're
closest I get to self-care these days is, did I take my insulin? Yes, but don't actually have a choice. Dude, Madeline, that is, yeah, if you're at that level, then that's your self-care. That is your self-care routine. You make sure you get that insulin on time. If that's the level you're at, that's where you are. And I'm glad. That is the most basic. Everybody's different. I had to work around mental problems. But you know what? My sugars were elevated at my last, not this past appointment, but the appointment before. Oh, that's another thing to talk about. My blood work. My blood work from like spring of 2020, before I started all my self-care, low in vitamin D, like I'd said before, and low in lots of other vitamins, but also very high in sugars. And they were, my doctor was noting that, and noting that if it was still elevated the next year, that they were going to test, or if it was higher, that they were going to test me for diabetes. They were worried about me developing diabetes. But my sugars are way down. I just had my doctor's appointment a couple weeks ago, and all my vitamin levels are up again, are back up. Blood pressure's normal. Everything's great. And all my levels of everything, my sugars are down and everything's fine. So a year of taking care of myself showed up at my doctor's office. I had lost weight too. I talked about that in one of my most recent videos, because another of my self-care, I finally got to, after clearing out all these other things and improving myself gradually with all of the self-care, I finally got to a point where I was able to deal with, hey, I'm too heavy to ride one of my horses. And so that's when I started making the nourishment connection, where it's actually nourishing for me to eat less. Like for some people, eating more is nourishing, or making sure you eat certain kinds of food. But to nourish my body, I needed to eat less than I was. And so I developed a calorie deficit. I logged my food. I'm on my Fitness Pal. Message me if you want to if you're on there, if you do data entry like that. So I make sure I stay in a calorie deficit. So that was one of the numbers that had come down too at my doctor's office. So this past year, they were like, wow, you've really been taking care of yourself. And I'm like, as I drink my Diet Dr. Pepper, still trying to, how many years have I been trying to quit these now? I just can't quit you. My tea has been steeping for over 30 minutes now. It is strong. Let's switch to tea. Okay.
Gotta get that last.
I did. You gotta get the last sip. That's where the goodness is. The last sip.
The backwash.
It's my backwash.
The goodness.
You should. You the peanut gallery. Stay over there and look for trolls.
All right.
There's like spearmint in here. I'd rather have spearmint than peppermint. It's sweeter and I like that. And if you like peppermint better, that's fine, but you're wrong. It's now warm tea. Oh, we did, so 4:34. Do we need to do like the giveaway yet? I did get my bridle cleaned and that was all I was going to do because I don't have the right oil. I could take apart my other bridle, but you know what? Hang on, everyone. I have a writing tablet and a pencil. Now look, I always do a giveaway on these live streams and I think it's been a t-shirt lately and we had something else the other day, but today we're going to do a giveaway for the mug, a Unicorn Centaur mug. I actually have my coffee in this mug. I also have an extra Equestrians mug, but so it's either this or the extra Equestrians mug. That's my coffee every morning.
You're not getting a used mug, if anyone was thinking that moment.
No, you are not getting a stained Unicorn Centaur mug with a like lipstick smudge on it. You're getting a brand new one.
Right,
I will have it.
Factory.
Yes, right, straight out of the factory in a box. I'll have it mailed to your house. You have to message me your address. But so if you want in, just let me know in the chat. Who wants a Unicorn Centaur mug for their coffee? This art, incidentally, was designed by Adriana, my friend Adriana of Cheval Noir Studios. Let me type that in. So she did my logo for me. Cheval Noir Studios. I'm just typing that in there because it's not an @ or anything or a hashtag. Excuse me. But you can look up Cheval Noir Studios on Instagram or Facebook and find her there. She may have her own website now. I don't know. But she has her own art designs on t-shirts and things like that. So anyway, but that's that. So she created that art for me. And that's actually us, if you want to know. That's Adriana and that's me. Can we get it where you can see without the shine? With the coffee from this morning. I'm so classy. Okay, we're just going to use this side. Hi. Okay, so yeah. That's where we start. Adriana is this unicorn and I'm the centaur of attention. So who wants a mug? Kristen wants in, and so does Becca. Kristen. Becca. Boo. I'm not just supposed to be supportive of that. OCD ritual. Air's here. Hey, the OCD rituals are such an issue for me to get to sleep. Yes, people who don't experience OCD don't understand. I don't have it personally, but I've had it described to me, like how they cannot go to sleep before a ritual is finished. And when they describe the ritual to me, I'm like, Jesus Christ, how do you do that without an interruption? Like, that's not possible. And they're like, I know. Trish is in for the coffee mug. But that's, yeah. I have several mental disorders. Actually, I have an appointment with my psychiatrist on Monday because I want to pursue a diagnosis in either ADD. Y'all, nobody laugh. Nobody laugh. I want to see if I have ADD. And from my behavior in this entire live stream so far. Anyone watching now would be like, yeah, honey. Oh, I suspect I have ADD or am on the autism spectrum somehow, because after self-care for a year and taking care of myself, a lot of my anxiety and has lessened and gone away, and I'm able to function a lot more beautifully. And yet I still have breakdowns and meltdowns, and I still get completely overwhelmed and occasionally, and there are specific things that trigger this. And so I want to go talk to the doctor about it and see if, do I need to be on a medication, or is this something else that I'm dealing with? So anyway, that's where I am on my self-care journey, is getting a diagnosis and speaking with a healthcare professional about it. So there you go. Skip the giveaway the time I got the last Melly. You're on a roll. But I mean, you know what? To be fair, if you want in, put your name in here. Just had a similar checkup. Good marks for self-care and weight loss. Took a pandemic to push. Isn't that crazy, Susie? Now, at the beginning of the pandemic, I gained weight. I gained a lot of weight at the very beginning, like in the springtime. I was like, oh God. And then that's when the weight gain started to I started to get back toward like my original, like my heaviest ever. And I was like, oh, okay. Wow. We need to do some things. And that's when I started like, hey, I need to go for a walk for 30 minutes and I need to get some sleep. And I started really taking care of myself, but I wasn't originally focused on weight loss. I was under too much pressure from everything else mentally to deal with that. We started with sleep. But yeah, good job though. That's hard work. That's hard work. And you're doing it. But again, everybody's different. Everybody has different levels of what they need. And some people are so in need of self-care that you have to triage it, like I did. I just started with I needed everything. I needed all of the self-care, every single bit of it. But I had to start with one thing because it was just too overwhelming otherwise. And I didn't judge myself for all the things I didn't change at first either. That was a big thing at first. When I started taking care of myself, oh my God. And let's talk about self-care guilt. Because people who are conditioned to take and trained to take care of everyone and everything else first, you experience incredible guilt and you feel so selfish when you start taking care of yourself, like really taking care of yourself. Because sometimes self-care means saying no to people who need you or who say they need you, but they could really do it without you, or they could find it another way. Making boundaries is self-care. And it just feels selfish and uncomfortable at first. And that's a thing. If you experience that, it's okay. You're not alone in feeling selfish about it. And as a matter of fact, it's one of the things that kept me from really taking care of myself for as long as I did, was because my son needed me, or, the animals needed me, or my husband needed me, or I had to do something else. Somebody needed something from me. But when the pandemic slowed everything down, maybe I kind of had a moment where I'm like, okay. And plus, after the 2019 thing where my entire health just totally tanked, like I've been trying to build myself up since then. In February of 2019, I almost died from physical and mental symptoms. That is not a hyperbole. I came very close to death in February of 2019. The closest I've ever been. So I spent the rest of 2019 just trying to scrape myself up from the bottom. And then 2020, I started my self-care rituals, really taking care of myself. And that self-care guilt hit me hard this past year, hard, when I made choices to take care of myself instead of doing things for other people. When I said no to other people so that I could say yes to myself. That's what I did. But you know what? I deserve that more than I deserve a donut. I deserve time to take care of myself rather than giving everything else to all the other people. That is more of a treat to my body and my soul and my mind than a cookie or a donut or a box of Little Debbie snack cakes. Yes, I used to eat boxes of them. Again, don't judge me. I could use a mug for my tea at night. All right, Aaron, I'm putting you in there. Chapman. We'll close it off in a minute. Grace Summer Hour. Yes, Grace, you're in. Is that you in for the mug, Grace? I'm assuming yes. I'm writing your name down. I misspelled Grace? How did I misspell Grace? I spelled it Garce. Why? Grace. Oh no, I was agreeing with you. Okay, if you don't want in for the mug, that's fine too. I don't have to put your name in. That's why I was making sure. Well, wait, I tell you what, I'm almost done with my tea because it's not hot anymore. It's been sitting here for 25 minutes. It's just warm tea now at this point, which is fine because it's not really a cold day.
She also misspells her own name.
Aw, I love you. My brain does several things at once all the time. So sometimes I say a word that I don't mean to say because the word comes from something another part of my brain is working on, and the word leaks through the thing I'm saying. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sense. It happens to me all the time.
Well, you know, Liam will be like, like whatever word I said. I'm like, because I'll be like, I'm drinking my tea now, but something else in my brain is going on. So I'm like, I'm drinking my napkin now. And Liam will be like, did you say napkin? And I'm like, no, because I didn't think I did. It came from another part of my brain that was doing something else. All right. The tea is done. Saying no to others when you hate to displease others is really hard. Yeah. But after my ICU visit in February 2020, I started saying no a lot more, especially to my job. Yes. That's a hard one too, especially when you're trained with that work ethic, that Protestant work ethic. I will work harder, you know, and that is a virtue, having that sort of work ethic. And it's not bad to have a good work ethic, but when it comes at the expense of your health, there is a saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. And my cup was empty in 2019 and beginning of 2020. My cup was empty. There's nothing to pour. And really making sure it's filled up really makes a huge difference. I have actually found myself like, you know what? I think for a whole year, like I didn't make dinner for my family. Like we're all just sort of like finding sandwiches or pizza or frozen pizza or whatever we would find to eat. But I didn't like feed my family. I didn't make my kids lunch. I didn't, I wasn't able to do it. I was too busy being sick. And there was a time in my self-care journey when I was like, hey, I have the energy and the mental and physical space to actually make everyone some dinner. Okay, I'll do that just for tonight. And then it would continue and it kept happening. Now I don't make dinner every night. I'm not that mom. And I don't like make all the meals for all of the family either. I'm not doing that. That's like a job. That's a job that people get paid for. And I'm not paid to do that when there are able-bodied people here who can make their own sandwiches. Anyway, but now I have more room to do that, to be there more for my family. And yeah, it hurt, especially as a mom too, in my self-care journey. There were times when I had to put off the needs of my son or delegate them to Scott, to my husband. And I couldn't be there for my kid and that hurt. Now I'm not saying I neglected him. I'm not saying like he went without things, but like he had to eat pizza rolls instead of having his mom make him a nutritious, dinner. It had to do his own laundry, at 12 years old. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't abused or neglected in any way, but there were times where I couldn't be 100% mom, if you know what I'm saying. And as I have taken better care of myself, I've had the strength and the ability to do more, to be there more for them. And that's part of why I did this all in the first place. That's the big irony, is that when you give to everybody else until you burn out, then everybody loses. But if you make sure that your cup is full, and again, that means different things to different people, depending on your lifestyle and your needs and your health and the obstacles that you deal with, the challenges in your daily life. It's different for everybody. I forgot where I was going with that. Okay, that's nice. All right, look, seriously, we have to have a drawing for this mug. Scott, will you grab the unicorn shower cap from the hook on the back of the door over there? You would be honored. Thank you for being here for the live stream and helping me with weirdos.
Oh, me? Sure.
I mean, you're a weirdo, so.
So it makes sense
It
to
takes
hire
one.
one.
Give me that. Thank you, baby. Okay. So anybody else who is in the chat right now, speak up if you want a chance to win a mug. Right now I've got Kristen, Becca, Trish, and Air. All right, y'all. I'm cutting up these names. I'm so old school. You know, there's probably an app or like a website or whatever that will do these random things picked for you, and you just type in the thing and then they'll do a random thing. But isn't it more fun to sit here and watch me tear up pieces of paper or cut up pieces of paper? You know what I want? I want some of those unicorn scissors. Have you seen the scissors that some of them are birds? Like I used to have a pair that was like a crane, but I want the little craft scissors that are a unicorn.
Is the horn the scissors?
Yes.
So the horn splits in two when you're cutting?
You need to stop whatever stream of thought you're working on right now needs to stop.
Where's the top of the... Okay. She has scissors. What am I doing?
Feeling stabby. I'm going to stab my mod. Now I'm going to get demonetized because the word stab is in this live stream. Such an important topic. So glad you've touched on so many aspects of self-care. Oh, good to know you're not alone in your journey. Yeah, there are apps. I know. Eventually I'll get one. Do you know what? Like if the channel gets much bigger and there's like, 50 names in the drawing or whatever, then I'm going to have Scott like entering names into a different app or whatever. But if there's nobody else, I've got names. I have names in a unicorn, a shower cap. So we're going to do the shake it up, the giveaway dance. Okay, that's fine. That's enough, isn't it? Oh, I can't look down. I can't look down and see who it is. I can't. It's Trish. It's Trish B. Trish B is the one I pulled out of the hat. I'm singing the song of the winner, and it's for you. Okay. Trish, I think you've won a giveaway before, so I probably have your address somewhere, but if not, like message me on Facebook or Instagram or email me or something. Make sure I've got your mailing address so I can get you a mug mailed. There are apps that do that, but then we missed the unicorn shower cap. I like the unicorn shower cap. I need like another kind of unicorn hat. I don't know. My unicorn shower cap is several years old now, and it gets a lot of actual use. Like I actually use that on a semi-daily basis. Like if I'm taking a bath, I want to make sure my teal hair doesn't like lean up against the back of the tile because it makes a teal spot on the tile. So I have to wear a shower cap when I take a bath.
Why is the helmet with a unicorn
horn? I need to make a unicorn horn for my helmet. Oh, I do. Like, okay, y'all. I recently realized I was like, I want to do something else with one of my helmets, like to paint another one or something. But I was like, no, I don't want to paint it. So I have an idea for an upcoming video. I'm not going to give it away, but I'm going to do something to my second helmet, and I hope it works. But I have an idea. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be one of the videos in May that we're doing. Let's see. Oh, I've got another Centaur of Attention video coming up in May. There is a DIY helmet thing I'm going to do to one of my helmets. What else? Oh, I've got a video I'm going to make with my horses. There's some fun stuff coming up in May. So I hope y'all are looking forward to more Unicorn and Centaur goodness in May. And that's about it for the live stream. Let me make sure nobody else has anything else they need to. Definitely need to keep the shower cap. Yeah, new coffee mug. All right, if I can't find it, yeah, I'll message you. She could wear the shower cap while using the app. That's true, yes. We will keep the unicorn shower cap for sure. It's just a few minutes early, but I'm gonna cut the live stream short tonight. I took apart my bridle, I cleaned all the pieces, and now I just need something like a linseed oil. I need to find something. I should go to a actual like equine feed store, Tractor Supply. There's a new Tractor Supply, by the way. None of y'all are local to me tonight. Sometimes my local friends show up in the chat, but there's a Tractor Supply that's being built exactly halfway between my house and my barn.
What?
No, that's good news for you. That means I don't have to waste more gas driving all the way to Hinesville and back, or ordering online and having shipping fees. Yes, I can buy fly spray and treats.
What's the
just
name
on the way. What? Tractor Supply.
Oh.
Tractor Supply Company. Yes, that's the name of it. So there's a new Tractor Supply happening. So anyway, but that is the end of the live stream. We're going to do another one at the end of next month, and I'm not sure what the giveaway is going to be on that one. I'll see what I can find. Well, I mean, if all else fails, we'll do some merch. We'll do a merch giveaway, but maybe I can find another fun sort of thing for a giveaway, a fun horsey or unicorny thing. I don't know. Stay tuned for that. So thank you, Becca, for being here in the chat today and helping moderate. And thank you to my other mod here, Scott, my off-camera talent. Woo! He's great. Thank you, everybody who joined in today. I hope to see you again next month, and look for the video next week as well. Also, I do one more thing. I do early access videos. All of my Sunday videos are available on Saturday to my Patreon members, and I do an outtake and 1 or 2 extra outtake / behind the scenes videos every month for my Patreon people. So if you're interested in a little bit extra or seeing my videos the day before they're available to the public, you can join my Patreon, and there is a link to that in the description box below. That's just like a monthly fee thing. It's either $1, $5, or $10 a month. So like, you know, $5 a month. It's like buying me a coffee every month, except then you get more videos. There you go. There's my Patreon spiel. Thank you for joining my live stream today, and I hope you all have a magical day. All right, let me end this. Bye, y'all.